I mean, I've even told my kids, you want me to tell you a great job on doing something you're supposed to do? You know? And a lot of times we take that into our team members too. And really, they are supposed to do it, but they could be doing it for somebody else.
Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of the Overlap Podcast. And if you are new here, we dive into the intersections of work, fitness, family, faith, parenting, and leadership. Around here, we believe that growth in one area of your life fuels growth in all areas of your life. That's why we're committed to taking the lessons we've learned from business, break them down into simple, actionable insights, and empower small business leaders to thrive. Our mission with this podcast is to help entrepreneurs not just succeed, but create meaningful impact in their communities, businesses, and families. So, we're kind of sure this is going to be a short one. We're calling it a quick hit. And it was really a thought that I've been having for the last couple of weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that. But the premise is this, is that we talk a lot, and we should, about rooting out or uncovering, discovering the C players that, for whatever reason are just not performing at the level that you need them to perform. And figuring out who that is, and perhaps why, having conversations with them, coaching them up and trying to get them to a certain level within a reasonable time frame. And if it's not possible, then transitioning them out, because you owe that to your team. And actually, if we're real honest about it, that's my job, our job as real leaders. Our job, if I put it succinctly, and I've been having this thought, is my job as a leader is to establish a high standard and work with everyone that reports to me to achieve that high standard, right? We talk about that all the time.
Letting them be aware of the standard.
Making sure they're aware of what the standard is.
We go wrong a lot of times by not letting them know what that is.
Yeah. And we're making a lot of assumptions here, but if you've listened to all the podcasts, hey, thank you. And if you listen to this podcast, you've probably heard others on leadership and everything else. But what we don't really talk about in this podcast or others is our best people. Would you say that's a fair statement?
We always tackle the problems.
Yeah. We tackle the problems.
Sometimes our best people can be left out because they give us no problems.
Right.
And we never have to think.
Isn't that crazy?
And that's the people that we really should be letting know that we only address what causes us issues in our business most of the time.
Right.
And in our life, quite frankly.
I know.
Think about the overlap in that one kid that you have that's just no trouble.
No trouble at all.
They get overlooked a little bit.
I've got one of those.
I've never been blessed to have a kid that's not giving me any. So.
I've got one. I've got one, and she is absolutely no problem.
And think about that. And I've been around. There's a lot of times she's so good and so quiet and so reserved that she doesn't even get any attention.
No.
Because you don't have to address her.
You don't.
Yeah. And we have team
and it's
members,
not right.
And our team members are that way too.
There are some that we absolutely depend on. Absolutely depend on. They make the whole operation work. And yet we spend 99.9% of our time with the other folks. And my question to ourselves and the audience is, do your best people know how much you appreciate them? Do they know how much you value them? Have you said that? And that's a tough one.
I would venture to say they don't.
Well, I hate that, but I think you're probably true. And the reason I've been thinking about it is my goal this year is to make sure that they do know.
When is the last time I've picked up a phone call, picked up the phone, or sent an email that said, hey, great work today.
Yeah.
Great work this week. Great work this year.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've done that.
I think I'm getting better at it. That's how I know I'm getting old.
Yeah, no.
I'm getting old, but I do. I'm aware of it, and I'm trying to become better at that. I'm trying to do that in all aspects of my life.
Yeah. When's the last time we've told our good kid,
Oh yeah. Well,
hey, great job?
I'm trying to make sure I spend a little more one-on-one time with her and let her just talk.
Yeah.
Whatever it is about the silly fantasy book series that she's reading, and whatever else. It doesn't matter. She just want her to know that she's loved. How about this? My wife cooked something fantastic last night, and I made sure I was like, that was fantastic. I really appreciate it. I don't think I tell you enough. That is like seriously good. And I'm trying to do that stuff, man. And I've got I'm thinking of 4 or 5 key team members right now off the top of my head that I'm making a real honest effort this year, not in some sort of systematic way. So it loses, so I don't look genuine in the process, but I'm trying to, when I see it, I say something, something like that. That's what I'm trying to do this year.
Pointing out wins, I think, is good.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I
don't really, and I'm not very good at that.
Well,
I mean, I've even told my kids, you want me to tell you a great job on doing something you're supposed to do? And a lot of times we take that into our team members too. And really, they are supposed to do it, but they could be doing it for somebody else.
I want to take a moment to talk about someone who's been instrumental in my personal and business success. That's Johnny Barranco and his team at Barranco Associates. For over 7 years, Johnny has been my go-to accountant and financial consultant. I can tell you that he's more than just a tax preparer. Johnny takes a holistic approach to all my financial dealings, aligning them with my long-term plans and personal lifestyle. I've recommended Johnny to several friends throughout different business groups around the country, and the feedback has been nothing short of exceptional. His expertise and service are top-notch. So if you're looking for someone who not only prepares your taxes, but also helps you strategize for the future, Johnny and his team at Barranco Associates are the ones to call. Trust me, you won't regret it. So contact Johnny Barranco today and take the first steps towards financial peace. You're not going to regret this. Okay, I'll rant just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll rant just a little bit, and then I'll get us back on track. I kind of don't dig. I'll just say it. I don't like the high school graduation celebration. Here's why. Like, I'll literally go to jail if I don't make you go to school and do what you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Isn't there a truancy officer that's going to come around and say, hey, your kid hadn't been to school in 50 days. If that happens anymore, we got to haul you in. I don't know if that's the actual way to go, but that's the fear I have.
Right.
I'm sure that there's something like there. There's actually a position called the truancy officer, right? And they're not going to take the kid to jail, are they? I'm going to have some repercussions. So if you graduate high school, I don't know how much celebration I feel like doing with that. But I'm actually going to say, hey, good job. Let's keep it going. Something like that.
And I know we started this podcast being very positive,
I
but
know,
here
I know,
I go. Paying kids for A's?
Paying kids? Oh, I didn't do that.
I know people that if you make an A, I'm going to give you $5 an A.
$5? Okay. Well, that's not a lot. I'm sure the people you know are probably paying way more than $5.
Probably so, but I'm going to give you something to do what you're supposed to do. But and I don't think that's what we're talking about, but I think that thought process goes with me through my day to day, and I should just stop and say, hey, thank you for working here. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you contribute. Right.
And even to the high school and grades and all of that stuff, I'll say something that Rick Miller said, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. He said, people do good things because they feel good about it, not because they feel bad about it. And it really clicked with me where I was like, if I want more of that behavior, I need to encourage it. And so if guys show up early, or girls, and put in some extra effort to get a thing done, or they help out another team to get this one client served. I need to make sure that I go out of my way to recognize that publicly, privately, and if there is any sort of like monetary I don't know, recognition that I see that might be beneficial or warranted, I need to go ahead and do that. Not in a systematic way, like, oh, if they hit this number here, they get that. That's more of like a pay structure. I think this is more just, am I recognizing the people that are going out of their way to produce good work and do a good job?
Kindness goes a long way.
Kindness does.
I lose that sometimes. I'll be real honest with you.
Well, yeah, you're grumpy.
Or I just feel like you should probably do what you should do. But kindness goes, even in my marriage.
Yeah.
Kindness goes a long way.
It really does.
Like I should probably tell Stephanie I appreciate her more.
You probably should.
And the efforts in which she puts in.
She told me you probably should.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I should tell my kids, hey, great job.
Yes.
My daughter just got hired full-time at Disney. I should tell her, hey, great job today, Annabelle.
You know what kids really want to hear?
Yeah.
They want to hear great job, fine, but they want to hear you're proud of them.
Yeah.
They want to hear you're proud.
I did say that. I did hashtag proud dad when she sent me the picture of her full-time badge at Disney.
Okay.
Yeah. Hashtag proud dad.
Was that on a social post?
No, that was on a text.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To her.
To her. Okay. So you weren't like getting social influence on her behalf. No. Okay. Well, yeah, that probably works. Speaking their language.
Right.
Does that give you Riz if you put it out there on that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't really know how that works. I really know that I'm getting old now because my kids will be saying all kinds of things, and I'm like, I need you to interpret that for a 45-year-old white guy.
I used to think that my wife liked me to post about her, but then I read an article that people who post about their spouse a lot are unstable.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. A public flex.
A public flex, yeah. So I've quit posting about her.
Maybe just private, appreciation, things like that.
I love private appreciation.
Oh my God. I walked into that one.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about my friend Wes Cody. He's the president of C2 Wealth Strategies, a financial advisory firm dedicated to providing personalized solutions for your financial needs. Wes and his team of professionals are passionate about helping clients create wealth and achieve financial freedom. At C2 Wealth Strategies, they believe in taking a holistic approach to financial planning and are committed to building long-lasting relationships with their clients, ensuring their financial well-being every step of the way. Don't leave your financial future to chance. Contact Wes and C2 Wealth today at c2wealth.com to schedule a consultation. Let Wes and his team help you build your financial future.
If you're a small business owner looking to take your business to the next level, listen up. My good friend Chris Francis has spent over 20 years growing his tree care business to national success. Now he's partnered with Rick Miller, you've probably heard him here on the podcast before, Harvard MBA, and business consultant to create Roadmap for Growth, an online course to help you scale, build teams, and create systems that last. It's not just for the tree industry. This course applies to any small service business. Check out treebusiness.com or hit the link on the Overlap homepage to learn more. Back to get on track. I just want to challenge us all. I want to, I'm being honest in this podcast and with the audience that I'm really working to make sure that I recognize and appreciate those folks that are putting in really good work in all aspects of my life, but not like work for me, but work in general. Kids doing well at school, I'm going to make sure I let them know I appreciate it. They really knocked out of the park cleaning up the kitchen, after dinner, whatever. Or guys doing a project and getting that thing done, or me doing something extra to take care of the client, or really those folks that are just super dependable every day, day in, day out. You never have to think about it. And how much mental capacity do they free me up so I can work on other aspects of the business because they're so damn dependable? Do they know how much I appreciate them? I'm just trying to challenge us all to make sure that we're aware of that. And because I do think we recognize the negative. It's easy to recognize. It's easy to point it out. It's easy to have conversations about. But I think the positive is just as important to recognize and to, make sure that they know that you recognize. We don't need them to get bitter.
Who do you need to give an attaboy today?
Yeah. Or this week.
Or this week.
An attaboy. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a old phrase. I like it. You got anything else to add to this?
No, I think that's good.
All right. Well, there's your quick hit for today. And really your challenge for this year is to recognize those great performers and the people you really depend on. Make sure they know how much you mean to them. How much
we just want to tell you, our listeners, attaboy.
Attaboy. Yeah.
Atta
Go on with that. Yeah.
Peace.